Okay, Larry Rippey's magnificent retirement party retrospective. This is the old room, ancient history as it says here. So this is my underground comics era, among other early incarnations. That's a Halloween party flyer done by a household of cartoonists. Me, Trina Robbins, Leslie Cabarga, way back in the 70s. A little jam session thing there. Since we're on this wall, this is He cover I did back in 1970. I was about 19 years old. A little strange, perhaps. It was published in color, Company and Sons. Along the same lines, there's my yellowed copy of Dirty Gertie's Comics #3. I did that cover, and that's 1969. I was about 18. Working with the Zipatone heavy there. Very early things. Similar banging around here. Incarnation is the San Francisco Comic Book Company, early 70s, probably 72. Billy Murphy, great cartoonist, no longer with us. Gary Arlington, the proprietor and publisher at the San Francisco Comic Book Company. Flo Steinberg, known as Fabulous Flo, Stan Lee's right-hand woman for many a year. And then there's me in my weird army coat, wool cap, a young lad. Another youngster over here. There's Trina in the middle, the Berkeley Comic Art Fair. Hector Tellez, my buddy from middle school who was a cartoonist, and there's me. We all look like we've been heavily suntanned. I think that's the color of the photo. This was a photo done for Towards Revolutionary Art. We were all doing something on their paste up or drawing or something. Me, Harry Driggs, Guy Caldwell, Ingrid Bredenberg, Trina down below. Okay, since I'm doing this, here's another flyer for what they were calling Naturally Curly Studios. I don't know how I got, not quite sure how naturally curly I was, but this was a flyer when we were moving in Mass. So there's Sharon Riddall, me, Leslie Cabarga, Trina's daughter Casey, all moving off to 15th Street in San Francisco. Again, another jam session-y drawing. And the San Diego Comic Con photo that's often seen. This was a photo by Jackie Estrada. This is a whole heap of us near a jam session. There's too many names to actually mention at the moment. I'm in the back wearing a yellow baseball cap. And then here's a sequel to that, which is All of Us, but with Harvey Kurtzman, creator of Mad, kind of piled on top of everybody. And backing up, here's my illustration for the BayCon, one of the early comic cons in San Francisco. A very insane, overly wrought, cartoony thing featuring olive oil. And something actually a little later, I always liked this drawing. It was never used for the possible project involved. Now you get to go over here to this wall. There's a lot of stuff here. I don't know if I would have enough video brains to do this. This is from the San Francisco Comic Book #7. That was the interior page with all the information down below. I did that insane drawing. That was about 1981, I guess. And another comic book page. This one never used. I really like this crazy thing. Nothing happened with that. I don't know why, because it's too long ago. This, Mr. Walk Down the Street. This was in Eclipse comic magazine. That was, again, a kind of an early 80s thing. spanning the decades here. Always fun to work for Eclipse. And there's Dirty Pool, page 1. And there's a tag up at the top telling me that it's also from Eclipse number 4. Molly just moved our labels. And they were down below. There's page 2 from Dirty Pool. A brief history of the Raker Act, which was very important to the Bay Area and Northern California political issue. That was for Energy Comics, I believe, yeah. Did a lot of things for Edu Comics Publishing, which was Leonard Dreyfus, like Energy Comics, Food Comics, Corporate Crime Comics, all Atomic Comics. Okay, San Francisco comic book number 6. A character called Max Leftfield. Somebody was asking me what his name was. I forgot. I guess he's called Max Leftfield. I really like my trolley car. I worked really hard on my trolley car there. Here comes page 2 of that. And enough of that. And then here's a page from a long story, again, that was never published. Don't know why I didn't pursue that more, because I worked on this really hard. A Night at the Space Opera. But I like that page, so I put it in the show just as one example. And thrilling scientific adventure. This was published in Fire Sale, actually a comic book that served as a benefit for Larry Todd, who had been injured in a fire and lost a lot of his possessions. So the comic proceeds went to him from that. And a little monster making a phone call. I really have always liked this one. It's done in scratchboard. And it was actually a conversation I overheard in a cafe or bar in North Beach one day. That was published in Eclipse number 6. Here's a promo. See if somebody could get some work out of this. A young cartoonist from 1975. Doing my deed here. Here's a flyer that I did for the Berkeley Comic Art Festival Fair. It was at Ashkenaz in Berkeley. Always liked that one. And editorial, I've always liked this editorial as well. This was originally in a comic book and reprinted elsewhere in Graffiti, artisan print, graphic arts publication. But I really went to town on this insane lettering. And, oh boy, here we go. One of my insane wash drawings called No Clues. That was in Dr. Wortham's Comics and Stories. It says unpublished on my, how strange, it says unpublished on my label, which is incorrect. It was published. And this was unpublished. Maybe I got them mixed up. A really crazy drawing. Presumably finished. I don't even know. Here's an old favorite of mine. In this case, this is actually a large digital print of this nightmare. That is white ink on black paper, or black inked paper. I like that a lot. And here's, hopefully in focus, an illustration I did for Psychic magazine about an appearance of a ghost. I did a couple of things for them. 1976, it says. Okay.